I truly believe that this is a critical moment in human history. Not U.S. history, not European history, not Asian or Australian or Indian history, but the history of our species. Hello everyone, Dr. Chris Martenson here, back after a too long absence from the public sphere, sitting here in my brand new studio, which has been like a racehorse stuck into gates, trembling, ready to go. Look, I've missed being here with you, and according to the many emails I've gotten, some of you missed me as well. You deserve to know why I went silent for so long. Well, look, I've been at this for 14 years. 11 years ago, Adam Taggart and I co-founded Peak Prosperity. That was 2009. As the platform to deliver insights and gather like-minded people. Our mission was and remains to create a world worth inheriting. Now, as you might expect, being in the truth to power business isn't exactly easy. Mainstream media wasn't and still isn't all that interested in hearing what I had to say about the illogical, to the point of being insane, paradigm of endless growth on a finite planet. Or the complete unfairness of printing money to benefit the few at the expense of the many, and especially the younger generations. Adam and I, we were approached in 2019 with a deal that would have allowed us to reach many more people, to align some marketing experts with their own extensive expertise and contact lists with our own operation. It would have allowed me to focus even more intently on content creation and thereby reach more people. Kind of my goal. Well, then COVID happened, and as is usual for me, I just, like it happened with Fukushima too, I just dove off in a whole new direction, using my skills as a sleuther, as a researcher, and as a person with the ability to make complex topics both accessible to a wide audience as well as actionable. Well, I put all that into operation. The basis of that new relationship suddenly didn't work out nearly as well in a post-COVID world. Partly because I have a strong habit of reading source materials and forming my own opinions, and I was regularly at odds with the slower, more bureaucratic positions of big tech, big media, and especially big agencies like the CDC, the NIH, the WHO. By the way, I'm still out of step with all those big cats. Okay, listen, that resulted, as we now know, in both covert and overt censorship, as I regularly explored banned topics like the likelihood of a lab origin of COVID-19 more than a year ago, and discussing various off-patent drugs, which I still can't name to this day, without risking complete censorship. But I'm not really one to shy away from bullying like that, especially when its effect is to stifle open inquiry and add to already catastrophic levels of medical ignorance. My comfort with risks is, shall we say, a lot higher than most people's or companies. And I get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I have a different risk tolerance. The other thing is I also trust people. I trust you to take high quality information and to make your own decisions and to take personal responsibility for your actions. I know it's kind of old school, right? But I think it's both the right way to be and, well, it's the wave of the future. We're going to get back to that. Along the way, Adam and I discovered that we both had very different interests and thoughts about how we were going to face the next 10 years. And I guess his interests lean towards financial matters more exclusively, while I remain kind of curious and interested in that arena, sure. But I'm far more focused on the complete set of topics that define our current predicaments and likely future situations. That's being polite. To be crystal clear, Adam's new company is a spin-off which has been branded as Wealthion, and I have no ties to it whatsoever. I don't receive any compensation from it. I have no input to any content, nor any role in it in any capacity. And vice versa. As of today, I, Chris Martenson, am the sole owner of Peak Prosperity. Whatever happens there going forward is on my shoulders. Fortunately, I have some world-class help that you will be introduced to soon, and they will be responsible for helping me build the best online and physical communities possible to face the future. But the decisions now rest with me. I'll be responsible for the direction and the major strategies and the content of Peak Prosperity. Here's what you can expect going forward. First, I'm back. I'm going to be producing a ton of new content. My mission is to bring fact-based messages to the world that then lead to new actions being taken. Look, I've missed being here with you, doing what I do best, making sense of the world, and then communicating those findings and insights. That's what I do. I'm kind of built for it. Second, my website Peak Prosperity is going to be revitalized, reorganized, and even rebuilt to meet the challenges of the next 10 years. I truly believe that this is a critical moment in human history. Not U.S. history, not European history, not Asian or Australian or Indian history, but the history of our species. Like, this is make or break time. Again, for us as a species. The conversations we have and the decisions we make today are absolutely critical. This is an all hands on deck moment. And that's why I completely reject the divisiveness and identity politics of our times. We need to pull together, not fracture apart. The next 10 years are going to be dramatic. I mean, if you found the challenges of the past year to be head turning, you're going to be even more surprised by the next 10 years. I mean, through all of that, what I personally care about the most is not merely being personally safe and secure, although I do value that, and you should too, but to be happy and to live a life of meaning and purpose surrounded by other curious and dedicated humans. I want to use my mind and my muscles to increase abundance for all life and not solely participate in a system of extraction and devastation. And that means I want to freely explore ideas, all ideas, not to be coerced and shamed into conforming to intellectual fads that have about as much nutritional value as a bag of stale Olestra chips. I mean, come on. But let me be honest. There are huge risks out there that will certainly bite the unprepared more than the prepared. I believe in avoiding unnecessary suffering and drama. I mean, if you can do a little thinking, connect a few dots, perform some basic preparations, and avoid a lot of pain, then why not? Why wouldn't you do this? Well, that's our tribe right there. People willing to do a little thinking, connect some dots, no matter how uncomfortable, and take action. Now, I know that seems like that's the approach. Everybody, yeah, of course, everybody would agree with that and take that, but it's actually not the case. Most people would rather follow along and not have to go through the effort and responsibility of thinking for themselves. As Ben Franklin said, many people die at 25 and aren't buried until they're 75. I love that quote. I don't have any particular judgment about how people choose to spend their lives. That's entirely up to them. But I'm equally clear that I choose to spend my valuable time surrounded by people who want to make the most of this ride. That's kind of life hack 101 stuff right there, you know? You are the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. So be sure to surround yourself with inspiring people, I guess is the message. To really make the most of this next period of time, I'm investing heavily into Peak Prosperity. I've hired a new team who are just as passionate about building resilience and promoting the free expression of fascinating ideas as I am. And we're going to be trying new things to reach more people. We're going to just experiment and to contribute to the movement that's already begun. A movement, you say? Yeah, I think there's a movement out there, a movement that values integrity, principles, personal responsibility, things like that. A movement of people who care as much about each other and all life on this planet as they do themselves and their own families. A movement of people who believe in making sense of the world, thinking for themselves, applying critical thinking skills, and most importantly, applying their personal gifts with passion and purpose to change things for the better. Now, some people will be drawn to this because it just feels right. Others won't. Again, that's okay. It takes all types and true diversity to live in this world. So we'll reach those who we can and leave the rest to whatever messages speak to them. My wish, my hope, is that you will join or rejoin or remain a loyal participant in and contributor to Peak Prosperity in all of our messages. The bottom line is that I'm back to my ways here, and I'll be reporting on all the things you care about. Sustainability, COVID, vaccines, the massive inflation that's now stalking our shopping aisles, peak oil, geopolitics, honeybees, really anything and everything of interest that will help you be smarter and make better decisions. Most importantly, we're in this together. My team and I, hey, we'll create the place where our community can gather. We'll create the container, we'll make it safe and inviting, and we'll do what we can to help everyone not only make the best of things, but to have a stimulating and exciting experience of life as we go through it all. So, hey, thanks for listening. Thank you, everyone, for your support during these turbulent times in my too long absence. I'll be back really shortly with new content. I mean, a lot of new content. And I hope you'll join us. And more importantly, you'll help us. And the easiest way, I guess I should say, that you do that is by hitting the like button. I mean, I don't know. The YouTube robots seem to like that activity a lot. I don't know why. And to subscribe to all of our channels. The robots seem to like that too. However, if you want my unvarnished thoughts, you'll increasingly be finding those exclusively at my website, peakprosperity.com. And if you become a paying member there, you can both support the true citizen journalism that you've come to know and love and gain access to my completely uncensored thoughts. I got to be honest. I truly wish we still had this thing called free speech, but we don't. That's the reality. Having our best conversations behind a wall in private, in a club, like those speakeasies of old. A great name, right? Remember that? Speakeasy. Last seen during the prior epoch of prohibition. Only this time, it's a prohibition of free thought, not alcohol. So that's it. That's the message. I'm back. I got a lot of stuff hanging out here in my head, and I hope to see you at Peak Prosperity. Listen, again, I wish I could tell you everything that's going on in here, out in public, but I just can't anymore. That's the nature of the beast. So we're making it safe, fun, clean over there at Peak Prosperity. I'll tell you what I can out here. And if you want the full, complete story, come on by Peak Prosperity. Hey, see you here, see you there. Really glad to be back. Thank you so much for your patience, and we'll be seeing you shortly soon. All right? See you then.